My name is Dylan Kraus, and this is my portion of the Ethnic Studies final project. I'm covering background information for the fight for ethnic studies. On my page here, we start off with a picture of Martin Luther King Jr. as the work of activists such as him, Malcolm X, and the like inspired organizations to develop and fight for equality in the 60s and 70s. One of these groups, the Third World Liberation Front, along with the Black Student Union, led a 5-month strike on San Francisco's campus in 1968. Their demands were for equal access to public education, to have more senior faculty of color, and to adopt curriculum that embraced the history and culture of minorities. This led to the creation of a variety of organizations for Black, Latin American, Filipino, Chinese, and Native American students. It also led to the first College of Ethnic Studies in 1969. I have linked here a video remembering the strike from San Francisco State University 50 years later. Shortly after the strike at San Francisco State, Berkeley was the site of another strike led by the Third World Liberation Front with similar demands. This strike was met with extreme violence, ultimately led to the creation of the Department of Ethnic Studies at Berkeley. Thanks to the work of previous generations, ethnic studies was now on the radar. Even with funding cutbacks and attacks on the program, ethnic studies were allowed to grow and flourish, leading to the existence of over 700 ethnic studies programs across the country by 1993. Even now, the fight for ethnic studies continues. In 2014, El Rancho Unified School District adopted the first measure that required students to pass an ethnic studies course. In 2016, a study was revealed that showed the benefits of ethnic studies courses. Some of those benefits we went over in class. Also in 2016, Governor Jerry Brown signed AB 2016, which required the creation of a guide to teach ethnic studies and courses, or to teach ethnic studies courses. Ultimately, California Governor Gavin Newsom would sign AB 101 in 2021, requiring all students to take an ethnic studies course to receive a high school diploma. Overall, in essence, the fight for ethnic studies began due to the efforts of students in 60s and 70s. The protests they organized were often met with violence, but they strived to enact policy that would bring about equity to persons of color because they knew it was right. It is important to note that while these protests have led to a lot of progress since the 60s, the fight is not over. Even now, in 2023, many states are pushing legislation to ban ethnic studies to whitewash history. It is up to the next generations of students to stand together and fight for what is right, to fight for equal access to education so that we may continue to see progress towards equality.